These fabrics are from my stash. Each of the denim fabric is about 2 yards and similar width. Cream colored broadcloth for binding and pre-quilted fabric for the lining. First, I cut out 3-inch wide strips from denim fabrics. Then I sewed the strips together with 3/8 inch seam allowances to make a big piece of striped fabric. I ironed the back side and seam allowances toward one direction. Then again cut out 3-inch wide strips from the pieced fabric. I actually flipped every other piece, so the direction of seam allowances are altered. I used small stitch lengths so that the seams won't fall apart easily when I cut out the jacket pieces. I used my base pattern for the jacket. You can download this pattern for free from the link in the description box below. I folded the pattern at the hemline B and brought it to the hemline A, and did the same thing to the back piece. I cut out the lining pieces first. I added 1 inch to the sleeve opening so I can wear this jacket over other garments I make from the same pattern. At the front neckline, I folded the pattern like it's shown in the video and changed the neckline a little. I cut the back piece on fold and excluded the seam allowance at the center back. I added 1 inch at the sleeve opening to match the front piece. The pattern comes with 1 inch seam allowance at the sleeve opening, so I cut off 1/2 inch from the edge of the sleeve opening. The pattern does not come with the sleeve pattern, so here are the dimensions I used. I pinned the lining pieces I just cut out to the outer fabric and cut the outer fabric slightly bigger than the lining, then serged off the excess. I quilted the vertical lines along the seams. To assemble the jacket, I sewed the shoulder seams together, then attached the sleeves. The slightly curved line should be attached to the bodice. Then I draped the piece over myself to see if I liked the general shape. I liked the shape of the jacket but didn't like how the checkered pattern looked at the shoulder, so I decided to add a white line there. To do that, I took out the shoulder seams. I cut out 2-inch bias strips from the cream fabric and stretched the strips as much as I could to prevent the wrinkling. Now strips are a bit narrower than 2 inches they started with. For attaching sleeves, I sewed bias strips to the bodice 7/8 of an inch from the seam allowance edge. Folded the bias strip over the stitch, placed the sleeve piece over it, and sewed with 1/2 inch seam allowance, so 3/8 of an inch of bias strip would peek out as a result. I connected some strips to get one long strip in order to continuously bind the front hem and the neckline. And I started binding at one of the side seams. If you are not used to binding, you can baste it by hand first. It's especially helpful around these corners. After binding the neckline, front hem, and the back hem, I sewed underarm seams. I did this so it's easier to adjust the fit if I thought it was too baggy, but I ended up just using 1/2 inch seam allowance. For the pocket, I cut out 2 pieces from the outer fabric so the pattern matched the jacket, then lined, quilted, and bias bound all edges. I stitched close to the edge to attach the pockets to the jacket. It took me way longer than I anticipated, about 2 weeks working on it on and off, but I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. The free pattern comes in only one size, but I think this baggy style could work on many people. I have a video on how to easily change the size with the pattern, so please check it out if you're interested. If you make your quilted jacket using this tutorial and decided to share, please kindly tag me on Instagram or send me a link. I'd love to see your creation. Thank you for watching to the end. Happy sewing!